In this video, I feel guided to discuss about many topics. I may call this video Miscellaneous Channel Messages because the messages that was given to me are very much all over the place when it comes to the spectrum of dimensional realities and the incredible truth that is broad, expansive, massive. So first, I want to discuss about hybrid children. And I just want to ring this bell again because it's meant to open up the Kundalini energy in the heart chakra for receptivity. So allow yourself to let go. Allow your heart to tingle, to open, to be receptive to your higher consciousness, the genius in you. So I feel the tingling in my heart as though my heart's like the platonic plates. I feel my heart sliding open and releasing green energy out. The opening of the heart to receptivity. So first, I would like to get into the channel message regarding hybrid children. There are individuals on Earth who've had bizarre experiences of either in dream or meditation being transported to a alien ship where the alien implants a fetus inside of their womb, or if you are a male, taking your semen to make a hybrid child, hybrid fetus in this spaceship. And I have friends who've experienced this firsthand of being in an alien ship, either through dream or meditation, and being given a fetus and going to the doctor and having blood work taken, and literally the test shows up as pregnant, and then a week later this weird, bizarre amnesia, and the fetus all of a sudden is gone. It is as though can't recall being pregnant, and at the same time having this paper evidence of blood work showing up that there is something peculiar going on within the womb, hormones that match the pregnancy, high hormones that indicate pregnancy. All of a sudden there's just this weirdness. I forget, and then it's gone. Like all of a sudden that whole week or whole 2 weeks of this hormonal pregnancy is vanished, is disappeared, as though it never happened. The channel message that was given to me is that star beings are already, it's kind of, they're very psychic, very in tune, and they're already have foresight of this Aquarian age. And this Aquarian age, as many scientists have predicted, is the age of the Homo sapien 2.0, which is us, Homo sapien, that we've been for thousands of years, somehow gets shifted, gets altered, meaning the DNA, we begin to have a different human, really. Different human. And I believe most of this genetic alteration is going to be showing up not so much in the physical. I feel like that's going to take hundreds, thousands of years, but it's going to be the brain activity. There's something about the brain, the genius quality, the psychic, clairvoyant, clairaudience, clairsentience is very much the Homo sapien 2.0. This ultra sensitivity, and we do have children already, these star children around the world, but these particular, it's like cross genetics between these star beings and us particular humans that they have scanned. It's like they've scanned these particular humans. They are these children, these hybrid children that a lot of individuals, particularly women, have met in dreams, like seeing children, like these hybrid children with big almond eyes. they are met with them. So why is this going on? What is it about? And I feel these star children are in this, I don't even know what to call it, dimensional space. And they're going to be coming to Earth, gradually coming to Earth through the changes, the shifting of this Earth. But right now, they're not entirely compatible with this frequency. But the shifting of the planet, we're eventually going to get to this place where these children are going to be born from the actual womb. But that would take a lot of clearing of the the biology. It's all energy, really. It's like the psyche is the biology. The psyche is not, up here and then the body is disconnected. The psyche is the body. So these hybrid children are, it's almost in, they're waiting. Remember, time is not linear. So an individual in the late 90s could have experienced the loss of a fetus through this really bizarre situation where they felt like they had some star child and the aliens took the child. And that child literally could be born in this future of Earth, which is really interesting because time is all at once. That's the message that came through for you all. And it's even hard for me to really grasp my brain around that. So the next channel message that wants to come through has to do with this whole perception of witches and light being shamans. So when we associate with witches, what do we think? Dead things. We think of skulls and just dead stuff around. And when we think of light beings, what do we see? When we think of a shaman, we think of them in a cornucopia of bountiful, abundant life. So what's going on right now, right here now, in this age, we are more so connected to the witchy energy, meaning we are gaining energy from dead things. Coal being a dead thing. And the witchy energy that we associate as maybe satanic or just evil, such as the sacrificing, that is worshiping the dead energy. The dead energy, trying to gain energy from dead things. As we know, there is no longevity in the process of harnessing energy from dead things. As we know, coal, there's no longevity. Thousands of years of harnessing coal is not going to get us very far. But the harnessing of energy through light, such as the shaman, through nature, the prayer of nature, the intention of nature, gathering the energy from the bountiful, abundant nature, that has the longevity. And Nikola Tesla has tried, and still today as a spirit guide to Earth, is trying to help us get into that energy of harnessing nature energy, life, sun, rather than from dead things. Such as meat. Meat is not good to eat for this reason. When we were hunters and gatherers, we would kill the deer and we would eat them that night. So the meat very much has a lot of that vitality. But now we're eating meat that, who knows, weeks old, and has went through this process and then this process, so all of the vibrancy of the animal has been stripped, and all you have is this dead thing trying to gain energy from it. Instead, it drains, because it is dead energy. It is energy that is of the inverted of the vibrancy. It's like the inverted of the vibrancy. It's like you have the light and the dark, and they're both, there's no bad or good, or one is the best, but it is the light and the dark. You have this space, kind of no energy, and this space of bountiful energy. It's like just the inverted of it. It's a really weird message. But that is something I wish to give to you all. So, our minds are definitely expanding. And there are many starseed children on this planet right now that long ago their genetics were being altered. Very much in the fetus, they were being altered. Particularly, there's this energy of the 90s, or some energy flux, big alteration going on. And before that as well, but there's something about this window of the 90s. Because think about it, that's when the technology really, you get the computer, the box computer was really in the 90s. Like, we know exactly what we're doing, is what the galactic beings are saying. We know exactly how to initiate this transition, this change. And that the rewiring of the brain, such as the entanglement in these ideologies and cultures, particularly the monarch. Now, the monarch, long ago with the Egyptians, long before the whole Egyptologists' dogmatic truth about the date of the pyramids and the whole purpose of the pyramids, beyond that, the Egyptians very much were having constant communication with these star people. And there was admiration for these star people. And the reason the star people left, and they were interbreeding with the humans because they wanted to cross their genetics, but they left because the human had not undergone their own experience of these particular ages, such as the Taurus age, the Gemini age. All of these energies, you could see them as lessons, these building blocks. There was really no their own personal building blocks. Their foundation was on the backs of what the star people have learned, their own experience on their own planet of going through these planetary cycles that have stretched for thousands of years. So they left so that humans could have their own experience of going through these thousands of years of lessons through these zodiac signs, these ages, the crossing and turning of ages. Because they had to build their own foundation. Their foundation on wisdom couldn't be on the star people, because it wasn't theirs. It wasn't Earth. It was like Pleiades or Arcturus. And Earth, being the Earth energy, which I associate more as the Earth Angel frequency, which is the Earth Angel frequency is, you can imagine, the fifth dimension. You could see it as the future of advancements of knowledge, such as Atlantis and Lemuria, because I do believe Atlantis and Lemuria is not only a bountiful, abundant, harnessing energy from life instead of death, such as coal. I feel like that was in the past and it's in our horizon. Because time, dimensions, not contained within this linear, limited mental way of trying to interpret vastness, time. Even saying that right now, it's hard because of the brain. It is very much constricted. So now we've come to this Aquarian age. And this Aquarian age is very much about, as you can see, the Aquarian as the humanitarianism, the unorthodox, and it is about the truth. It is the sharing of the truth. It is sharing of the knowledge. And this is the sharing of the knowledge. All of us have, everything has had its own experience, had its own wisdom gained, and all of that is coming together in this one big omega shift on the planet. All of us through the dark ages, all of us individually in our groups, even other species have learned lessons throughout these ages. The Gemini, the Taurus, the Aries, all of these ages, and now it's a time of exchanging it with other groups, with other religions, with other cultures, nations, sharing at the very micro to the very macro. And this is going to create a huge motion. It's like I'm seeing this huge, it's propelling this huge motion forward because of the exchange. And that, I feel, is going to open up this door within the heart to these multidimensional experiences of connecting. You could perceive as past lives or future lives of Atlantis and Lemuria and these galactic beings. Because I do believe these star children, these fetuses that are taken from women, or sperm that is taken from men in these spaceships, these children are born just in dimensions more better suitable for that particular genetic makeup. But you may wonder why wouldn't they just take the genetics from that particular dimension that child is born in? Well, I think there is some individuals, energies, blueprints have this unique, it's almost like a unique configuration. We can't see it because we can't even really see our very micro essence and the very DNA and the very makeup of our unique blueprint. What these ultra sensitive star beings can see, so they're energetically combining with these particular blueprints through making of a star child, a star being, because of that precise. It's like you're picking this unique blueprint out of the vastness of the cosmos, and it just happens to be in this age. But it's not just this age. It's been going on for a very long time. Think of you as this spontaneous creation. You may see it as planned, and may as well be planned as life. There is, through the cycles, it is kind of like planned, the planning of fall turns to winter, and then winter turns to spring, and spring turns to summer. But I feel the spontaneity, the actual manifestation, it is just what just happens. It just does. And the light beings, whoa, look at that. Spontaneous creation, that blueprint is a, whoa, incredible blueprint. Let me take some DNA from that to make this future design, this Homo sapien 2.0, and place that child in the future. And this dimensional reality possible, man, there's infinite, possible in this future life. the souls right now, the souls that have been selected and scanned for this particular lifetime, it's very interesting, the light beings are communicating to me, have the blueprint and have had the mastery. Again, we all, group and individually, have had our own mastery. And I feel the selected groups, particularly, that were chosen, very much have mastered this spectrum of ability to be a strong space holder. So these groups have faced much adversity, have been, you could say, movers and shakers, revolutionary, the Thomas Paine of the early American Revolution, as well as groups of healers are coming in, because these individuals, these groups of those who can be a strong powerhouse energy, and strong powerhouse energy of your own essence requires a strong space holder ability, a strong electromagnetic field, because we have all of these signals, these programmings everywhere that's constantly shrinking people's space, shrinking in their electromagnetic field. They feel like they're contracting on themselves, and what that leads is to confusion. It leads to, I don't know myself, who am I? And therefore becoming a product of the programming. So the space holders are very much the out there. They're the out there, the out there, the out there. And that very much gives the inspiration to the healers. The healers, which could be the very sensitive ones. So all of this teamship is going on this planet. All of these, you could say, groups, really, but they're just light, just different color of light, and they're coming together with all other colors to move this planet forward in this shifting. It's like inverted. We're inverting our minds. Really weird. Inverting our minds, like our minds, the inversion of the small, like the contracting feeling, to the inverted, the expansion feeling. I feel that's what we're doing. It's like we're taking ourselves inside out. That is the shift. The monumental movement is like turning ourselves inside out. It's like the micro becomes the macro, and the macro becomes the micro. Like there's this double thing going on. They're saying an important message is finding your soul family, because we do all come in pods, not just us as humans. Species, you notice there are species who have this grouping going on. And even light beings, they have this grouping, these pods that they go together and swim the cosmos to other dimensions on their planet together. The unification of these various blueprints coming together, such as the pod for exchanging, creates a powerful energetic, it's like you're expanding the electromagnetic field. Each person you have beside you, you're combining your energy, expanding it, expanding it, expanding it, because they say the electromagnetic field of a single person could go 10 feet all across. Imagine that with your soul pod of, let's say, 5, even more. Each person with the electromagnetic field 10 feet across on all sides. That creates this powerful energy, and it's all magnetics. It's all it is like electricity. It's all that energy, and that life force energy, the creativity energy, is the movement, the longevity, the healing, the vibrancy. So the dead things is what going on in the work slave society. Push yourself, even the food, there's a lot of the dead energy. There's no vibrancy, chemical, like just dead things, lack of minerals, dead things. Even the water stripped. It's like dead things in the water, stripped. That's what's going on. There's the stripping, and that is the dead things, such as the witches, the stripping, the sacrificing, the worshiping of the dead. Now, it's not negative. It's not. It's just the energy of that. It's interesting. It's like you have a black hole, and then you have the sun. Like they're each other's polarity, duality. They both have energy, just in different fashion. But the energy of the creativity is the sun, but the black hole, is the energy of the space. The space. The space for creativity, because you need the space for creativity to be born. Interesting. They're both working together. The black hole being everywhere around you, and the sun being this speck of light, so large and omega, it can illuminate this black hole. Black hole meaning we are mostly space, and like 0.0001 light. It's interesting. Weird channel messages. The altercation, the alteration is the word. Alteration happens through the brain. The alteration of your DNA, what is coming in and what is going out, what is open and what is locked, it is the brain. The heart is like the electromagnetic field, but the brain is very much the energy that can cut, can clear, can open and lock your biology. And that is what's going to bring us into this new design of human. It is the shifting of the brain. Because the psyche is a lot of times connected with the brain. The psyche being this cluttery stuff. There's just clutter stuff all around. Is very much connected to the brain. The heart is where the original blueprint is, where your Sachic records is. And it's not some, huge, large place. It is very much within that heart center. The breath, the pulse. But the brain determines the biology. So shifting the biology is, this is what the aliens talk about, the shifting of the biology. This is something that they talk about a lot. And they work together. Because it's very much Gaia, it's very much Earth that gives us these signals. But this age is a very wrap-up. It's a wrap-up, and it's a monumental shift. The monarch is going to linger into this age a little bit longer, that hierarchy society. But it's shifting rapidly because the brain, like the brain, the microbe, our separate brains, is very much in this river of consciousness that is within the Gaia brain. The Gaia brain meaning these constant energy charges that are going to be given off, like trees releasing chemicals. Trees release chemicals even when you're touching a tree. They're releasing chemicals. It's like firings of the brain. And Gaia is having that all the time. And our brain is contained within that river of consciousness in Gaia. It's connected. So the firing of Gaia's brain, the initiation, the progression, is triggering us as being connected, as being the children, to rewire the firings of our brains in a different way. And then us having our own children, the same thing, as what Gaia is doing to us as her children, is our children are going to have this alteration to their ability to see, feel, hear, the whole biology, because we, as the parent cell, have undergone that shift. So whatever we have undergone, that child that comes out of us is very much going to have already undergone that in their very biology. They might not be aware of it, as children are aware, but they're going to have that already. So that is what we're doing. So I feel that is all I want to share with you guys right now. I hope you enjoyed these channeled messages. I know they're miscellaneous channeled messages, but they do all come together, all for the purpose of helping us to go with the flow with this shift that's happening on the planet right now. Just go with the flow. Just go with the changes in your mind, in your body, in your heart. Go with it, because it's all leading us somewhere. Okay, namaste, everyone.